Hello, everyone. We're Team 2, and we were assigned to review Team Six's project, Farmer's Basket. For our peer review, our team focused on evaluating how effectively Team 6 applied system analysis and design principles to address a real business problem. We divided our review into sections. Each member analyzed a specific part of the deliverable, including the system requirements, UML diagrams, testing procedures, and presentation design. Our main goal was to assess the project's clarity, organization, and technical accuracy. We looked for consistency between requirement models and test cases, as well as how well the system aligned with the overall business goals of Farmer's Basket. We also considered presentation factors like visual quality, consciousness, and professionalism. Now we're moving on to the project itself. Team Six's system was created for Farmer's Basket, a small grocery store that sells organic and fresh produce. The business faced ongoing problems with manual inventory tracking, which caused issues such as overstocking, product shortages, and restocking delays. To solve this, Team 6 designed a computerized inventory management system that automates the entire process. The system uses barcode scanners and RFID technology to track stock movement in real time. It also sends low stock alerts to notify managers when it's time to reorder, ensuring products are always available. The system connects to the existing point of service platform through a REST API, allowing instant updates for sales and refunds. It also includes role-based access control for administrators, managers, and clerks, so users can only perform tasks relevant to their responsibilities. Additionally, Team 6 incorporated interactive dashboards and analytical reports to help the business analyze supplier performance and track product trends. Overall, the project provides a practical, scalable solution that helps farmers' baskets operate more efficiently, reduce waste, and make better inventory decisions. Team 6 analysis demonstrates a strong understanding of real-world business challenges and how technology can solve them.
I'll be talking about key strength. One of the main strengths of this project is how Curdy explained the problem Farmer Basket is facing and how the new system solve it in a realistic way for a small grocery store. The good Curdy identify each user role like the inventory manager, cashier, and administrator and connect them to what they would actually do in the system. The requirement are organized, easy to follow, and match what the business need. Their UML diagram help show how the system works step by step, and the test scenario show they are thinking about how to make sure the system functions correctly, not just how it's supposed to look on paper.
The areas of improvement for Team 6, starting with the requirements analysis, which showed strong fundamentals. They clearly distinguished between functional and non-functional requirements and defined user roles well across 6 different actors, including integrating requirements for REST API and RFID. Their business rules supporting ethical data management and sustainability were particularly impressive. However, some requirements were too general. Phrases like be reliable and available at all times need more measurable standards. For example, something like system uptime of 99.9% or response time under 2 seconds. Integration systems should clarify data synchronization methods, and user interaction would benefit from UI or workflow mockups. For a system analysis model, Team 6 created a solid use case diagram. All relevant actors are correctly modeled, the system boundaries are clear, and use cases like scan product barcode and place purchase order reflect realistic operations. But to improve the diagram is visually dense and needs better organization. Grouping use cases by subsystem would help. Also, action titles should follow a consistent verb object format. Adding a legend for relationships and expanding actor interactions for sales manager and system admin, and including measurable performance details in specific sections would complete the model. And for system analysis, the test scenario and validation, the test cases are organized by modules with IDs for traceability, and they cover both positive and negative scenarios like valid versus failed logins. The main gaps are the test cases lack expected results and input data, and there's no mention of testing methodology, the manual versus automated, and tests aren't categorized into functional, integration, or performance groups. These additions would make the test plan production ready.
So, moving on to the UML model feedback. So first up is the use case diagram. On the left, this is the original diagram that Team 6 used, and on the right is a more revised, more clear use case diagram that I think Team 6 could use as a further revision. In the original use case diagram, it was a bit difficult to follow and understand. As my peer previously stated, in terms of readability and relationship clarity, I thought that it was a bit hard to properly identify that with all the lines crossing. It was just a bit hard to follow. So on the right, I believe it's a better depiction of how Team 6 could create their use case diagram with a whole bunch of different relationships and actors. It makes it more clear to be able to follow the different correlations between all the actors and the systems that they're going to be doing and following. And in terms of the include and extend relationships, it's a lot easier to follow. Whereas in the original diagram, it's a bit harder to see with like all the crossing lines and stuff. So on the right side, it's just easier to identify that. Next was the use case specification. So in the original model that Team 6 created, I thought it was a bit wordy and just it had all the proper information and all the proper functions, but I think it would just be better if they can condense it into a chart like so. So, and also include system responses, triggers, and or measurable performance details. Measurable performance details such as like extended time. That way it's like metrics. It's easier to follow exactly how long each process took. And then also having it in a chart just makes it, in terms of format, easier to follow as well. And as you can see here, Team 6 also had preconditions and postconditions, so I feel like this would be a good example that Team 6 could incorporate. And as for the activity diagram, I thought this was done pretty well actually. Just one minor critique in terms of a node for the decision node for the check stock availability, just to be a bit more clear, just adding the item found for the yes route, and then for the no route, adding item not found, just so it's even more clear to people and there's no room for any assumptions. So that way it's easier to follow exactly how the IMS is going to, or how, depending on the route of the IMS, whether it's yes or no, how it's going to move on from there.
Here are a few recommendations to help improve the farmer's basket inventory management system even more. First, we suggest adding some performance metrics like tracking average processing time in order to measure how efficiently the system runs. This would help identify areas for improvement as the business grows. We would also like to recommend using AI tools in the future, and it could be added to help predict future product demand. This would make it easier to manage stock levels automatically and prevent both shortages and overstocking. We also recommend integrating the system with accounting software like QuickBooks, and that way it would connect sales data directly to the inventory updates and make financial reporting much simpler. Lastly, we recommend including more examples or scenarios in documentation that will help users better understand how the system would work in real-world situations. Overall, we think that this was a very well-organized and realistic project. The goals were clear and directly focused on solving real inventory management problems that small businesses may face. We also like that the team made great use of technology and used tools like AWS or Django to show a smart balance between reliability, scalability, and affordability. The project also made a clear connection between the technical design and business values. Features like barcode scanning, low stock alerts, and supplier management will really improve efficiency and customer satisfaction. The system is practical, achievable, and sets a strong foundation for future enhancements.